Microplastics are tiny particles of plastic. They are so small that they often go unnoticed, yet their impact is profound and far-reaching. They are less than 5 millimeters in diameter, making them incredibly difficult to detect without specialized equipment. This makes them invisible to the naked eye, blending seamlessly into our environment and everyday lives. These particles come from larger plastic items that break down over time. Sadly, they are everywhere. From the plastic bottles we use daily to the synthetic fibers in our clothing, microplastics are a byproduct of our modern lifestyle. Microplastics pollute our oceans, soil and air. They have been found in the deepest parts of the ocean and the highest mountain peaks, showing just how pervasive they are. Even more concerning, they contaminate our food and water. Studies have shown that microplastics are present in bottled water, seafood and even table salt. These tiny particles pose a significant threat to human health. The full extent of their impact is still being studied, but early findings are alarming. They can enter our bodies through ingestion, inhalation, and even skin contact, disrupting crucial biological processes. Once inside, they can travel through the bloodstream and lodge in various organs. Microplastics have been linked to hormonal imbalances, reproductive issues, and even mental health problems. The chemicals associated with these particles can interfere with the endocrine system, leading to a host of health issues. Their pervasive presence demands our attention and action. We must take steps to reduce plastic use, improve waste management, and support research into alternative materials. We must understand the risks and find ways to protect ourselves and our planet. Public awareness and community initiatives are crucial in tackling this invisible yet formidable enemy. Together, we can make a difference. We ingest microplastics through food and water. They are in seafood, table salt, and even bottled water. We also inhale them. Microplastics are in the air we breathe, especially in urban areas and homes with plastic furnishings. Once inside our bodies, microplastics travel through the bloodstream. They accumulate in various organs, including the liver, kidneys, and even the brain. The long-term consequences of this accumulation are still being studied. However, evidence suggests that microplastics can trigger inflammation. They may also interfere with organ function. This silent invasion of our bodies is a growing concern. We need to understand the pathways of microplastic entry to minimize exposure and protect our health. The endocrine system regulates hormones, which are essential for maintaining the body's internal balance and overall health. Hormones are chemical messengers that control various bodily functions, including growth, metabolism, and reproduction. They travel through the bloodstream to tissues and organs, delivering critical instructions. Microplastics, tiny plastic particles less than 5 millimeters in size, are pervasive in our environment. They contain and absorb endocrine-disrupting chemicals, or EDCs, which pose significant risks to our health. EDCs can mimic or block hormones, disrupting the delicate hormonal balance that is crucial for normal bodily functions. This interference can lead to a cascade of health issues. This disruption can have wide-ranging effects on our health, affecting everything from our reproductive systems to our metabolic processes. Firstly, EDCs from microplastics can interfere with reproductive health. They can alter hormone levels, leading to issues such as reduced fertility and complications during pregnancy. They can cause fertility issues in both men and women, making it more difficult for couples to conceive and potentially leading to miscarriages or developmental problems in offspring. Secondly, they can disrupt thyroid function, which is vital for regulating metabolism, energy levels, and overall growth and development. The thyroid gland regulates metabolism and is crucial for growth and development. Disruption in thyroid function can lead to conditions such as hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, affecting energy levels, weight, and overall health. Interference with thyroid function can lead to various health problems, including fatigue, weight gain or loss, and even cardiovascular issues. Thirdly, microplastics can also impact childhood development. Children are particularly vulnerable to EDCs because their bodies and endocrine systems are still developing. Exposure during critical developmental stages can have long-lasting consequences, potentially leading to developmental delays, behavioral issues, and other health problems that can persist into adulthood. These effects highlight the urgent need to address the issue of microplastic pollution and its impact on our endocrine systems. By reducing plastic use, improving waste management, and supporting cleanup efforts, we can mitigate these risks and protect our health and the environment. Section 4. Mind Matters. The mental toll of microplastics. Emerging research suggests a possible link between microplastics and mental health. These tiny particles, often invisible to the naked eye, are now being scrutinized for their potential to infiltrate our bodies and affect our minds. While studies are still in their early stages, the findings raise concerns. Scientists are beginning to understand the complex ways in which microplastics might interact with our biological systems, particularly the brain. Microplastics may impact the brain and mental well-being through several mechanisms. These mechanisms are intricate and multifaceted, involving both direct and indirect pathways. Firstly, microplastics can act as neurotoxins. These substances can interfere with the normal functioning of neurons, the cells that make up our brain and nervous system. They can cross the blood-brain barrier and potentially damage brain cells. This barrier is meant to protect the brain from harmful substances, but microplastics are small enough to breach it. This damage can affect cognitive function and mental health. People may experience issues with memory, concentration, and overall cognitive performance. Secondly, microplastics can trigger the body's stress response. When these particles are detected, the body may react as if it is under threat, releasing stress hormones. This response can lead to increased anxiety and affect overall well-being. Chronic stress is known to have numerous negative effects on mental health, including anxiety disorders and depression. Thirdly, studies have shown a correlation between microplastic exposure and cognitive decline. This is particularly concerning for vulnerable populations such as the elderly, who are already at risk for cognitive impairments. This decline can manifest as memory problems, difficulty concentrating, and impaired learning. Students and professionals alike may find their performance affected by these subtle yet significant changes. Finally, the mere awareness of microplastic pollution and its potential health risks can cause psychological stress. The constant bombardment of information about environmental hazards can weigh heavily on the mind. This stress can contribute to anxiety and impact mental health. The fear of the unknown and the invisible threat of microplastics can exacerbate feelings of helplessness and worry. More research is crucial to understand the full extent of microplastics' impact on mental health. As we continue to uncover the hidden dangers of these particles, it becomes increasingly important to find ways to mitigate their effects and protect our mental well-being. Section 5. A legacy of harm, long-term implications. The long-term consequences of microplastic exposure are still unfolding. However, the potential for lasting harm is undeniable. Continuous exposure to microplastics and their associated endocrine-disrupting chemicals could contribute to chronic diseases. These diseases include cardiovascular problems, certain types of cancer, and autoimmune disorders. Furthermore, concerns exist about intergenerational effects. Microplastics can transfer from mother to fetus during pregnancy. This transfer exposes the developing child to these harmful particles from the very beginning. The implications for the health of future generations are significant and demand further investigation. Section 6. Turning the tide strategies for a microplastic-free future. While the pervasiveness of microplastics may seem overwhelming, we can take action to mitigate their impact. Reducing our reliance on plastic is paramount. Choosing reusable alternatives for everyday items like bags, bottles, and containers significantly decreases plastic waste. Supporting better waste management practices is crucial. Proper sorting and recycling can prevent plastic from ending up in the environment and breaking down into microplastics. Additionally, we must advocate for stricter regulations on plastic production and disposal. These efforts require collective action from individuals, industries, and governments. Section 7. Conclusion. Our health, our responsibility. Microplastics are a ubiquitous and insidious threat to human health. They have infiltrated our environment, our food chain, and ultimately, our bodies. From hormonal disruptions to potential mental health impacts, the risks posed by microplastics are undeniable. We must acknowledge the gravity of this issue and take responsibility for our choices. Reducing plastic consumption, supporting sustainable practices, and advocating for change are not just environmental imperatives but crucial steps towards safeguarding our health and the well-being of future generations. By making conscious choices today, we can create a healthier tomorrow, free from the invisible threat of microplastics.